Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Day 2 of the Jamaican Athletics Championships, where the team is being selected to represent us in Paris. The women's semi-final in the 100 meters. Yes, we're expecting some fireworks there. There are two semifinals, of which three will be selected in each heat automatically, the top three, and then the next best two times will make it through to the finals. And similarly to how stacked the men's heats were, the women's heats are also stacked as well, or semis are also stacked as well, and a few people will miss out on the finals, unfortunately. But track is it is absolutely fast running, and may the best woman make it to the finals and eventually, of course, represent Jamaica, in the women's 100 meters. So I'm going to kick things off with the heat or the semifinal one, right? We have Janelle Smith in lane one. She goes in with her 11.23 from last evening. Tina Clayton ran an 11.12 last evening to qualify. She's in lane two. Jordan Williams is there in lane three with an 11.01. Massive personal best from Jordan Williams. Then we have Kemba Nelson. She's in lane four, 11.16 seconds. Natasha Marson is in lane five with her 11.12. Shelly Fraser Price is in lane six with her 10.98. Ashanti Moore is in lane four with her 11.24, and Nisha Berger with her 11.32 is in lane 8. This is quite interesting. This is like the heat of death. I'm going to have to see the other heat when I get down there, but for now, this women's semifinal, the first one, is very, very interesting. And it's going to be interesting, as I said, to see who makes it in. Let me just go through this based on what I saw last evening, right? Clearly, Shelly Fraser Price takes this heat hands down. Her bullet start is back. She dismantled the field yesterday and literally walked in, walked home. That start, she got out and she left everybody and jogged home. You know what I mean? Her bullet start has returned. I expect a similar execution from her because I don't believe she'll need to do more than that, which is just run the first 30, which is just her dry phase, disconnect from the field and then shut it down. That's my expectation from her tonight, or you know what I mean. It's gonna be a bit faster, yes, but I do not expect her to do way too much. You know what I mean, because this is pretty typical Shelly and Fraser Price once executing rounds. You know what I mean? She takes it up a notch each round, you know what I mean, and doesn't really give more than is required. But that first phase, she pretty much always executes. So I'm expecting to see that in this race as well. Then I look at the next person in this race that I think will be in top three is a Jordan Williams. Now, based on the seeding, Jordan was unfortunately second in her race because she ran with Shericka Jackson. Shericka ran at 10.99, but she ran a massive personal best 11.01. And as such, she doesn't really get a preferred lane in this instance, or I'm not even sure why Kemba Nelson is in lane four and she's in lane three. Given the fact that Kemba, was a bit further. Well, how much was Kemba? Kemba was second in her heat, I believe. I know Natasha Marzo won hers, but either way, right? I was expecting a better, lane for at least a Jordan Williams, but she's in lane three, right? So I'm expecting her based on her performance last evening to be in the conversation as well. But it's going to be interesting to see if Natasha has any more based on what I saw, yesterday that she ran that 11.12 to win. My thought with that race with Natasha is that her start, and again, if you go back to classic Natasha Morrison, she actually has a good start, so I'm not sure why her start was so poor last evening. If she executes right, then I think she will be able to challenge a Jodine Williams. Will it be enough though to take her down in this race, given that Jodine is clearly in PB shape? Not necessarily, so I'm still going to go with Jodine in second. Natasha, I believe, will take third. Now, when it comes to Kemba Nelson, I believe Kemba was in the same race with Natasha last evening. Um, she looked a bit ragged in terms of her execution. She just looked all over the place. Not the best technique, I would say, for running or for sprinting. Especially when you've taken a look at our top athletes over the years and how they've been able to master pretty much executing the 100 meters. I'm just wondering why Kemba Nelson's form looked the way it looked last evening. But that being said, it's going to be interesting to see if she can find herself, in the mix. There's Tina Clayton as well. Tina had a great start last evening, and faded towards the end of the race. Not typical of a Tina. You'd expect Tina to have a stronger finish, right, than she does a start, right? But also to note, I believe Tina went down on the track last evening holding her leg, so I'm not sure what shape she's in, but I'm just going to assume she's good, right? And if she's good, I'm hoping that she will also be a challenger. So my outside challengers in this race for top three are Kemba Nelson and Tina, or I should say Tina and Kemba, because I have a Tina placing ahead of Kemba in the rankings right now. So top three, Shelly. Then I have Jodie, and then I have Natasha. And challengers to Jodie and Natasha would be Tina and Kemba. That's pretty much how I'm looking at it. Track is, yeah. And as I said, only three make it in, and the next two best time. So even though I'm saying, Tina and also Kemba could be challengers for the next two spots, you know what I mean? It all depends on the times that are run in the second heat as well. So let's get into the second heat, because this one should be, stacked to the brim. And it definitely is. Wow. Okay. Was I saying the first race was the semi of death? No, well, it's actually semi two. It actually is semi-final two. This is going to be interesting. All right, so straight off the bat, we have Brianna Williams coming in with her 11.25 done last evening. Alana Reed is in lane two with her 11.20. Tia Clayton is there with her 11.02 personal best she did last evening. Crystal Soley comes in with her 11.12 done last evening as well. Sasha Lee Forbes 11.03. Shericka Jackson 10.99. Shakura Wallace 11.24, and Lene Thomas 11.27. This heat track is hot. This heat is do or die. Pretty much. This is gonna be crazy. This heat is going to be crazy. Straight off the bat, Shericka definitely takes the win here. I don't believe she will be challenged. Similar to Shelly and Fraser Price. She got out of the blocks and pretty much shut it down and walked home as well. Absolutely phenomenal running from Shericka. I expect her to do the same thing again in this semi as well. Just get out and cruise home. It's going to be a faster race, yes, but it's still going to be well within their capabilities until they get to the finals, when they just got Lego foot. You know what I mean? But until then, we're going to see a more relaxed run. Well, not more than, in the heat, but a relaxed run, to qualify still. But I still expect it to be faster, right? Behind them, no. Here's the tricky problem, because Sasha Lee Forbes looked absolutely phenomenal last evening as well in her qualifying, letting me know that she has much more in the tank, also giving me personal best shape tees, right? Then we also had Tia Clayton that came out running an 11.02 personal best, right, to qualify. So now we're looking at an athlete that could be on the verge of running a personal best, and an athlete that has already run a personal best, in this second and third tier, you would say. But they're not the only ones that could potentially be there, because there's a Crystal Slowly. She ran an 11.12 to qualify, but notably, her start was really bad last evening. I'm not sure what happened in her execution, but her start was bad, and she came back towards the end of the race and qualified with an 11.12. So that 11.12 may not really be the true reflection of the shape that she's potentially in this season. And then I'm also good looking at an Alana Reed as well, and a Brianna Williams. No, interestingly, we've seen, faster times from these athletes this season. We've seen an 11.09, I believe, from Alana, and an 11.08 from a Brianna Williams, right? And if it's one thing I know about Brianna, Brianna always turns up as well. So I'm expecting to see Brianna shake off this first round, you know what I mean, and come out, regardless of whichever lane she's in, she's going to execute her race. So she's in lane one, way out there, from, well, so closer to the starter, but not where the action is, you would say, in the middle of the pack. I'm expecting her to run. I'm expecting her to get good starts, and I'm hoping that I'll see her in a favorable position and make it into, the next round. But yeah, times are going to be very, very crucial in this particular heat, and potentially track is potentially all the non-automatic qualifiers will come from this heat. Yes, you heard me. So you'll have the three qualifying automatically, and the three may be Shericka, between Shashali, Crystal, and Tia. Let's just say those four will consist of the three, right? It means that there's one extra person that will make it through in this particular race. I'm probably going to give the nod to a Brianna Williams in this case, right? To say she is the one that will, round out those top five spots. I believe this heat will be the faster one, or at least the other finishers behind Shericka Jackson will be faster than the other finishers behind Shelly and Fraser Price. Let's put it that way, right? So I think this is where the top two non-automatic qualifiers will come from. But Chuck is, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Anyway, you dice it. These are very interesting heats. As I said, minus Shelly and minus Shericka. What everybody else is doing is pretty much very similar, and it's just gonna come down to hundreds of a second, as far as I'm concerned. That will separate most of these athletes, who will make it and who won't. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section as usual. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.